All right, everybody, welcome back to Doing Stuff with Perry. I'm Perry. Today we're going to talk about screen replacement, the fabric in particular. We're going to assume that you had your screen there and it's torn or damaged. This one's in perfect condition, but we're going to damage it here before we get going into this. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to show you the simple steps that it takes to remove the old fabric, replace the new fabric, trim it up, and get it ready to go back in your window. We want to thank My Window Solutions for use of their showroom and helping us out with these videos. And we want to thank you guys for joining us. Enjoy.
My Window Solutions specializes in window and door replacement, offering top brand choices for windows and doors, blinds and shutters, security screens, no pressure, fair priced sales, unmatched quality of installation, and back-end service and support. Go to mywindowsolutions.com for a free in-home consultation.
All right, so you got a screen at your house that maybe didn't get treated properly, like, I don't know, somebody came by with a razor knife and cut it. I'm not going to keep the bugs out anymore. You can take that same knife that did this terrible damage, and you can start to pull out the little bead that goes into the track here. So once you got yourself a hold of this, you pull all of this spline material out. And if your screen's relatively new, you can go ahead and reuse that spline almost always. If your screen's older and your spline's a little brittle, you've got to buy the right gauge spline, so it's best to take a little piece of it down to the hardware store and make sure you get the right diameter, because too big a spline won't work. Too small a spline won't work. So now your spline's out. We'll just get it out of our way. The fabric, it just will pull right out. Not much holding it in anymore because the spline was doing that. I'm going to go ahead and use the knife, and I'm going to just hang it out here, kind of grab it with my hip. You want to go ahead and get your fabric in place, some sort of place that makes it nice for you. All right, so we got our screen spliner here. So what I like to do is I like to start at the top, and you kind of want to make sure your fabric is squared up so that your fabric is not sitting on their diagonal, because how it's sitting here is how it's going to sit. So I got that one side started, and I'm using the channel side, but we get it right around that corner there. And that, my friends, the top is done. Now what I like to do, makes my life a lot easier, is I can cut it here at the corner, straighten this thing up. So once you get that corner pinched, kind of drag this, tighten it up a little bit, kind of just hold everything with your hand. And you'll see it stretches as you do it, so you just kind of have to adjust about halfway. You might have to, if it's a big long screen, you might have to adjust a few times. There you go. So now we're half done. But this one, we can just keep rolling it all the way up this side. Jam it right in the corner. So that takes us all the way up to here. And as long as we're in a good place, it's already being held by the top. This one should roll nice and easy up here. All right. We're going to go ahead and cut this one more time. That should give us, and we're also just then going to flip it. And this is our last one, and we just want to make sure that we got it not too tight, but nice and snug. And understand that as the spline goes in, it actually takes up some of the slack. So if you're holding it too tight, you'll end up over tightening that screen and bowing the frame. So snug is good, too tight is not good. This one might be too loose. And so if you don't like it, it's pretty easy to just pop it back out. Give yourself a little adjustment there. Line it back in. You know, it is nice to have extra hands, but most all this stuff, if you just take your time, you can battle through it and get it done. So right there, we have all of our spline in. And now we're going to use the same knife just carefully. This is where you can take all your work and ruin it. The minute this thing touches here, we're back to stage one. We're going to just run this right next to the spline carefully.
This is where your surgeon's touch helps.
So we just cut it around, follow in. I'm trying not to come out of the track, but for sure don't go towards the screen.
Keep your privates, keep your fingers, keep your everything away from these blades because they're very dangerous.
You see I'm cutting towards myself, but I am doing it so carefully that if something goes wrong, I'm not moving fast, I'm not moving careless.
I'm making sure that this blade is going to not draw any blood today. I'm just going to do it this way.
Right now you're on the home stretch, everybody.
I can't tell you. Home stretch is the hardest time sometimes. You get all excited, you're almost done.
That, alright, we got our discarded material. And here we are with our new screen, everybody. I want to thank you guys. I want you to come over here and like and subscribe. Give me some comments. Tell me what videos you want to see. I know this is simple stuff, but there's somebody out there that wants to learn how to do a screen, and we're here to do stuff.